All right. Let's get some music going. Hello, everybody. What an epic day. I'll tell you, we're on fire in this community. Absolute fire. I call things like it's going out of style. Now, I'm not going to admit I'm going to admit I don't know everything, right? I don't know the Solano ecosystem enough. I don't know the Celestia ecosystem, the Cosmos ecosystem. And you should follow other channels for those things. But I am calling the Bitcoin DeFi narrative. These big names, they follow me. They listen to me. I am their guiding light. And I will continue guiding you through this bull market. Let's talk about what happened today. We've been calling SOV for the last 3 days. Sovryn. If you don't know what it is, go check it out. It's Bitcoin DeFi. We've been calling stacks, DICO, everything. How can we stop now? How can we give up? We're this close. We got a very important video for you today. I want you to watch the whole thing. Let's turn off the music. Let's get serious. Okay? Now, I'm going to preface my whole video on this. Okay? It's going to take you 2 seconds to watch the video. I made this about a month ago. Everyone needs to rewatch this video from a month ago. What matters is the euro dollar adopts Bitcoin, not the ETF narrative. So just watch this for about a minute. Are talking about how the euro dollar system is going to be recreated on Bitcoin and DeFi applications on Bitcoin. So this one is more interesting to read. It says, I'll read it to you real quick. Interested in something far more bullish for Bitcoin than ETFs, companies, nation states buying Bitcoin, offshore banking institutions buying and holding Bitcoin as a reserve. This is how the euro dollar system developed in a Fed demand for dollars and fed a demand for dollars globally. European banks, particularly in London, seized an opportunity by accepting dollar deposits and lending dollars, creating a market for dollars outside the U.S. The market was free from U.S. banking regulations, leading to more competitive interest rates and greater flexibility. That last part is the most important. Competitive interest rates and more flexibility. So what is the problem in the U.S.? We don't have a natural time value of money interest rate curve. We have one manipulated by the Fed. Now, you can argue for the Fed. You can argue for or against the Fed. I don't know. But the euro dollar system developed because it's outside of the Fed. Now, it's still affected by the Fed because it sucks dollars out when they're, artificially manipulating interest rates, right? Which can cause inflation, deflation, anything in between. But that's so important because I do think that this is one of the reasons Bitcoin DeFi is so important, because even if Bitcoin doesn't become the de facto currency, right, it can become the de facto base layer for the euro dollar system or the world euro dollar system, right? So that's good for America and that's good for everybody because we have open banking now. We can have a yield curve without the Fed involved, which I think everyone would agree on. Now, I named this video "Are Alex and Sov Worth Hundreds of Billions?" This is last month, okay? Now, just keep that in mind. I was talking about Sovryn last month. Okay, this is the second reason why Bitcoin DeFi. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. Bitcoin DeFi is still so important, right? This was in the Genesis block, the first block of Bitcoin. Chancellor on the brink of the second bailouts of the bank. So Satoshi Nakamoto supposedly put this in the Genesis block of Bitcoin, right? So what is the point of Bitcoin, right? It's to take power away from the financial system, the banks, the Fed, right? Because when you control the money and the money printer, obviously you influence and you create these bubbles, right? You have cause misallocation of capital. You can control people's movements. You can control their lives. You can control what they're thinking about. So I'm not going to get political about it, but that's why Bitcoin DeFi is so important. We need to recognize that. Now, what you're saying is, oh, it's never going to happen. We're the underdogs, right? I just want to remind you throughout history, the underdogs have when they had an opportunity, they struck, right? The U.S. when they defeated Russia in the Olympics. Singapore is a perfect example of an underdog going capitalist and exploding. This guy from the movie 300 who gets murked by a small army, okay? And then Mark Wahlberg in Lone Survivor. The underdog story is as old as time. We need to embrace that. Now, I'm bullish on Bitcoin DeFi because of that, right? And there's still tons of opportunities, right? And it's getting recognized. Bitflow, a Stacks DeFi platform, just raised 1.3 million. Okay, Alex Lab is being noticed along with all these other ecosystems. Sovryn, TRAC, the DeFi's, the things that I've been talking about is getting noticed by. I don't know if this is Yeah, they're investor venture capitalists, right? The Spartan Group, 50,000 followers, 57,000 followers on Twitter, right? So it's getting noticed. So what happened today that was just epic, right? Eden Yago, who is one of the contributors to Sovryn, which is a DeFi platform. They have a stable coin, they do lending and all that stuff. He basically worked with them, and now they're releasing roll-ups on Bitcoin. Now, what was so funny about all this, right? SAVM claimed to be able to do roll-ups of some kind or on the EVM chain. It's basically was exposed by Yago today. Look, here he says it, and this was in a Twitter Spaces, here's a project doing actual and real Bitcoin roll-up work, right? So Satoshi VM released this thing, and Yago basically said, this is impossible. This can't happen on Bitcoin because of this computer science, blah, 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 blah. But these roll-ups can happen. Now, I'm not an expert on roll-ups. If you do want to learn about it, there's plenty of articles to go look at. I'm doing research myself, but you know, I'm more of an investor, and I believe in this theme, right? So I tweeted today, and this is true. I mean, as funny as this sounds, Ethereum people looking at SOV in disbelief, Stacks people looking at SOV in disbelief, SOV people can't believe their project is coming back to life. This is the one I'm tingling, right? 3,000 views already. Now, Sovryn, right, is an old project. It was at $40, right? And it just broke $1. I've been talking about if it breaks $1, you know, it's going to be chaos, right? So there's a bunch of articles on what they're talking about. The layer is called Bitcoin OS. I hope you go look at it because I think it's going to be symbiotic with Stacks, right? And I know this is a Stacks channel, right? I've been drawing this for the last month, okay? Basically what I said is we have a downward wedge here. We'll probably go here, bounce, right? I drew these lines. That's what these are. We'll go up, okay? And if we can stay above this line, which it looks like we are, right, we should be good. Now, we went way above it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do come back, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still bullish whether we have a pullback or not. I guess this is now is a good time to read this, right? Chris Berninsky, I really agree with everything he says. Continue to think we go lower to consolidate, right? I think that can happen, but to me, like, this is our opportunity, right? And maybe I'm like not being smart about it, not thinking about it, but I just feel like this is our underdog moment, right? I feel like this is our moment, man. And we got to keep going. We got to keep pushing. Now, that doesn't mean you should be investing in these things. This could mean building different products, right? I'm not encouraging you to invest. This is just educational, right? But there's ways you can contribute, either with marketing on social media, building a product, so on and so forth. You know, getting involved in the political process, okay? So this chart looks incredible. It's still at like $39 million market cap, $40 million. I'm not sure you can go look at it, but it's under $100 million. You know, I made that video a month ago, this video. Are Alex and Sovryn worth hundreds of billions, right? So I'm not saying they're going to get there this bull run. I'm not saying, you know, a price target or anything, but I truly think like this is our opportunity, man. Like, we've got to embrace it. Now, another DeFi related thing is TRAC, right? And I have this Karma coin up because venture capitalists are going to be releasing it. It is an NFT coin, but it's going to be airdropped to TRAC somehow. They're trying to get TRAC so they can stake it. There's lots of things happening on TRAC, right? I don't know if I have that tweet up. Here it is, right? Launch tap rewards for staking tap airdrop to TRAC holders, Karma airdrop to TRAC holders, acquisition of 500 TRAC with Karma by On-Chain Monkey, right? So real people are recognizing this. Now, whether this is a legitimate project, obviously there's opportunities for rug pulls. Obviously things can fail, right? This is highly technical, but this is also a very nefarious industry, right? So at your own risk, I'm not encouraging you to invest, but it seems like we're gaining some momentum, right? We're up 11%. We were at $4 yesterday, right? Even under that, 3-something earlier this week. It seems like we're breaking above this downward trend line, and we're staying above it. To me, that's super, super bullish. Now, obviously, Bitcoin can dump. We could lose all this, you know, so on and so forth, a lot of risk. So I just had to make this video. Right, royalty-free music is going back up, right? A lot of epic stuff happening, but we've called it. Now, if you're a trader, you might want to get out of Sovryn, right? And you listen to what I talk about. If you're an investor like me, I don't trade things, I hold things, I invest for the future, right? So, you know, that doesn't mean I've never taken profits or never taken a loss or whatever. Really interesting. I hope Hope this was a banger. We've got an opportunity here. Are we gonna capture it? Or are we just gonna let it slip? My arms are heavy because of Mom's spaghetti on my sweater already. He's nervous, but he looks calm and ready to drop crypto bombs. Yes, sir. You can call me Hutch.